Alright guys, so we are back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the Dokkan Fest Captain Ginyu, because I did get a comment asking to do a showcase on this guy, so shout out to you for leaving the comment. And this guy's still really good, right? If you run him on the Ginyu Force team, he's going to look insane because of course, you know, he supports that category, most of the units on that category are supporting him, he pretty much shares almost every link with every unit on that category, so it just works out very well for him. You know, he gets some extra stats depending on how many Ginyu Force category allies you surround him with. So if he's on the Ginyu Force team, he's definitely going to look really good. He's also pretty much giving it 200% to every Ginyu Force unit. Actually, I think he is giving it 200% to all the Ginyu Force units. So it just works out well for him. You could tell he was kind of designed to be ran alongside other Ginyu Force units, which is good because there's a lot of good free ones. You know, you've got the LR Ginyu Force, the tech one, you've got the physical LR Ginyu Force, and of course there's a full free-to-play Ginyu Force squad. So there definitely are a lot of really good options to run alongside this guy, but you just got to make sure they're Ginyu Force units, right? Because if you run him with, like, you know, a bunch of Space Traveling Warriors units, you're going to notice his performance does drop off a little. But good thing, this team is definitely really good, especially if you have these Banner units like the Rakum and Guldo, and then the Birder and Jace, because, you know, they're insane, and they only make this guy look even better. So before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. Also, keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to any part, then absolutely feel free to do that. And yeah, let's get right into it. So on this opening rotation right here, we're going to be looking really good. Like I said, pretty much everybody on this category links up very well with the Ginyu. So we're going to have 5 out of 7 links right here. We also do have a lot of support. So we're at 277k defense. So not the best defensive stat, but like I did mention earlier, he is stacking defense and he has built-in additionals. So it makes it to where, you know, you're going to stack up pretty quick, right? So of course, throughout the fight, his defense, you know, just going to get higher and higher. And he is also AGL, so he has the base 5 additional. So technically, even 55%, you could get the triple super. But what were we? A little over 6 million right there. Not the craziest damage, pretty good because we've got built-in additionals. We did get the hidden potential system additional super right there. So I guess that's pretty good because, you know, again, just another stack. And we are also super effective against all types right here. So I mean, his damage is pretty good considering he's stacking defense. You know, he's a support for this category. He still has that active skill in his back pocket as well. So there's a lot with him to where obviously he's going to be very good. So this guy starts off with an attack and defense stat of 180%. Not the craziest, but pretty good, right? 180% to attack and defense. Definitely good. And then he gets an additional 50% attack when performing a super. I guess the extra damage is nice. I mean, this isn't really like a damage dealing unit. When you do the active skill, he can do good damage because you build up crit chance, you still have additionals, and obviously you're stacking attack, but I don't think that's like the main thing about this guy. I think his defense probably is a little bit more important, hence why, you know, he's stacking defense, right? And then he launches an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super. There's no restriction behind that, it's just for free, an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super. Which is good because that is worded in the way we like it. It's an additional that has a medium chance to become a super instead of just a medium chance of launching an additional super. So again, it just makes it to where the hidden potential system additional super has a higher chance of actually being, you know, a super. Which again, he's AGL, so he has the base 5 additional. So then even 55% with no dupes, you still do have the potential of getting that triple super. And then the fact that he's launching the additional that has a medium chance to become a super, it just helps that, you know, hidden potential additional super actually becoming a super, right? So definitely pretty good there. Again, because all the additionals are going to benefit him a lot because he's stacking. So if you get like the triple super turn 1, you know, you get the triple super on the next turn you see him, he's going to be approaching 1 million defense very early on into the fight, right? And then this guy does also get 10% attack and defense per Ginyu Force category ally on the team, up to 50%. We do have a full Ginyu Force team right here. Now, I guess it might be kind of difficult to make a good Ginyu Force team if you're missing, I don't know, like the Birder and the Jace, or then the Rakum and the Guldo, because then you're going to have to substitute them for some of the free-to-play Ginyu Force members, and they're not bad, right? Some of them are definitely good, like the Rakum, he can be good because he gets the guard, and then the Birder he can stack, and I guess the Jace is pretty good as well, because he's got the Scouter, but even them, there's some wonky things with them, right? Because the Rakum's guard is only a 50% chance. So if you don't get the guard off with him, he's going to get destroyed in these difficult events. And then the Birder, I mean, I guess he's pretty good actually, right? Because he has the dodge and he's stacking. So he's pretty good. I don't really think there's anything wrong with him. But then the Jace, his stats are kind of low. There's the Guldo, who just sucks, right? I mean, outside of Super Battle Road, that Guldo doesn't really have much use. So you kind of need these banner units in some of these LRs, which the LRs isn't really a big deal because both of the LRs we're using on this team, they're both free to play. So it's very easy to get them and get them easy aid. But I don't know. Still, it might be kind of tricky if you don't have some of the banner units, because then your team is noticeably worse, and then you might not be able to actually beat these difficult events because then you've got a liability, right? Because even this team right here, STR Jace, is not good. Like, if we took on Red Zone Broly and he got AoE'd, even if it was after he supered and got his defense, he would still die, right? So it's a little tricky, but if you've got, like, the perfect team, then it's crazy, right? Because everybody's supporting everyone, everyone's linking up great with everyone, and it just works out, like, very well, right? So almost 7 million right there, definitely pretty good. I mean, yeah, again, his damage can look good, but I don't think it's necessarily, like, the main thing about this guy. I would say his defense is a little bit more impressive than his damage, right? Because then once you're stacking up a lot, his defense does get really crazy. Right here, we're not even at 400k defense, but I'm pretty sure he got his defense lowered. So that's why he's not as high in terms of his defense. But okay, we've got 5 out of 7 links. So yeah, the Raccoon and Guldo, probably his best partner. Yeah, I think they're probably the best partner to run next to the AGL Ginyu, because they get the guard, and then they still get, like, attack and defense on super, so they're just crazy in their own right. Actually, you know what? They're probably tied for the best Ginyu Force unit. I would say Captain Ginyu and then them are kind of, like, tied in terms of their usefulness, because, I mean, Ginyu's good, because obviously he gives all the Ginyu Force units a 200%, you know, he's stacking, but I don't know, dude. Raccoon and Guldo, you can just throw them in slot 1 and they will tank. Like, they're that good of a just defensive unit, right? I mean, we'll see. We'll probably bring them in the Red Zone event, wherever we take Captain Ginyu, and you'll see them. I mean, because once they're fully built up, with the guard and everything, they just look insane. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you have these really good banner units, dude, this team's going to be good, right? But if you don't, it's not going to be as good, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of obvious, but it's just kind of how it is, right? So, okay, on this next turn, I guess we can just showcase this, because, yeah, Ginyu's at 600k defense on turn 7. Definitely pretty good. We do have a lot of support, but this is realistic, right? Because, as I said, everyone on this damn category supports, so it kind of works out, right? What we'll do is we'll showcase this rotation right here, and then I guess we can just go ahead and cut to when we can do the active skill, because other than his defense just getting higher and higher, not really that much to talk about, because, of course, Ginyu doesn't really build up, again, other than his defense just getting higher because he's stacking. But then, I don't know if I mentioned this, he is also supporting Ginyu Force category allies for 30% attack and defense. Unfortunately, he's not supporting for Ki, but I don't think that's the biggest issue, because everyone links up with everyone so well on this category. Ki's not really going to be an issue. And then he does also get attacks effective against all types when there's another Ginyu Force category ally on the team. So, again, with that and the additionals, his damage can look pretty impressive. But as I've mentioned already, I don't think it's going to get, like, insane, right? So, okay, we can go and cut to when we get his active skill, because I don't got to keep on showing these rotations, just being kind of repetitive. All right, so unfortunately, couldn't get the active skill in this run. The condition is all right, so you can do it when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 4th turn from start of battle, and then obviously you do change into Ginyu Goku, and then you do have to build up from there, so you're not really looking, like, at your max potential until pretty late into the fight. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, because typically you will get it. I just think I got really unlucky right here. But I still wanted to showcase this because, yeah, million defense. Definitely really good. I don't think our damage is going to look any different than it has been throughout the video, but still, I just wanted to show a million defense. So I guess we can just try and get the active skill in the Red Zone test. I'm thinking about just bringing him versus Red Zone Broly. I was thinking maybe Super 17, but because there's only one phase before the final phase, so there's only 2 phases, he's not going to have enough time to build up. So I think Red Zone Broly will be a little bit better, because then, you know, you can stack up, and then we do the active skill, and then, of course, we build up, right? So it just kind of works out better. So with all that shown, let's go ahead and cut to the Red Zone Broly test. All right, so we're here fighting Red Zone Broly, and we do have the active skill right here. So let's go ahead and play this. Alright, so first thing, with the active skill, actually, this is really useful. We do recover 59% HP, which is really good. Usually, if the unit has an active skill, and the condition for the active skill is that you have to be below an HP threshold, and then on the active skill, they recover HP, that is actually really good, and I don't want to undermine that, because that is kind of an issue. Like, you know, if you have an active skill that's under an HP threshold, and you get under there, yeah, sure, you use the active skill, but you're still below, like, you know, 50% HP, or whatever the restriction is. So you're still very low on HP, but with him recovering 59% HP, obviously, just works out really good. So right here, we are going to have 5 out of 7 links. We get a lot of support. We're at 552k defense, so definitely very good. We've gotten a couple supers off with the Ginyu previously. We're here on turn 6, so, you know, that definitely is pretty impressive. We still are building up, so I'll go over his details now. So this guy does get the 59% HP recovery, like I said. He does get attack and defense plus 200%. And then he gets an additional attack plus 50% when performing a super. He launches an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super. So it's the same thing as the pre-active skill state, right? Just, you know, an additional that has a medium chance to become a super. Still good, but I don't know. Maybe they could have made it like an additional that has like a high chance to become a super just to make it a little bit better. But still good, right? I don't want to undermine it because he is stacking attack, so additionals definitely are going to go very far with this guy. Which, I don't think I talked about that during the video, but you probably should go full additionals with this guy, just because he's stacking defense in his pre-transform state, or pre-body change state, because he's stacking defense, and then he's stacking attack once you get the active skill off with him. So, additionals definitely are the way to go. And then this guy does get an additional 10% attack and defense, up to 50%, a chance to perform a crit, and a chance to dodge, plus 10%, up to 50% with every attack performed. So every attack you do, you're building up 10% attack and defense, a 10% crit chance, and a 10% chance to dodge. So definitely very good. Of course, it just makes it to where, obviously, you know, you'll get up to a 50% chance to dodge, and then you'll get up to a 50% chance to crit. And then this guy does also get a high chance of forcing enemy super attack when there's an ally whose name includes Jace, which, of course, we don't have the free-to-play Jace on the team, but because Jace is in the name of the Birder and Jace, technically works out, so we are going to have that during this run. But I did pop a Whis because we're going to die right here if I didn't pop a Whis. I'll just cut to when we have the Ginyu without an item activated, so we'll see how he can actually tank versus the final phase of Broly. I don't know, man. When he's fully built up, I think he could be pretty good. We're not going to be able to dodge in here, so maybe bringing him versus Broly wasn't the best idea, but keep in mind, still, throughout this fight, even though he's not going to be dodging, he is building up that 50% chance to dodge, so of course that is really good. So I just want to make sure I throw it out there. You know, you got to keep in mind he does have that. So let's go ahead and cut to when we see him tanking. Alright, so we're back fighting Red Zone Broly, and we have a pretty good setup for the Ginyu Goku right here. We're going to have all of our links active. I believe we got a little bit of support from the Rakumen Guldo, and we're here at 559k defense, so we haven't built up with this guy at all. But, of course, after we do our couple of attacks, you know, we'll build up a bit. So I think we're taking double digits right here, at least from normals, but I don't know, man. We'll see how much a super does. Now, the good thing about Rakumen Guldo is they're fine, right? I mean, they're absolutely just going to tank right here. I mean, yeah, they get the extra defense. They've got the guard. They're going to get some extra defense from the super. So even if they get supered, they're going to be absolutely fine. Actually, I do kind of want them to get supered just to show how much damage they're going to take. Because like I'm saying, dude, they're a very tanky unit. All right, cool. So yeah, this is doing like 100k, right? Just because they're very tanky, and it's very beneficial that they're as good defensively as they are. Because, like I said, you can just throw them in slot 1. So, okay, not under 100k, but about 100k. Still really good, right? Even if it was before we supered, then we still would have taken like less than 200k, right? So still overall, just a very good defensive unit. So we did get the double super. We're building up a bit, which is good. Because I think with this double super now, we're going to tank double digits. Because remember, he does build up the 10% attack and defense with every attack performed. Yeah, okay, double digits. So definitely really good. Keep in mind, if, of course, we could dodge in here, we do build up that 50% chance to dodge. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? I mean, double digits without, you know, building up that much. We've gotten a couple attacks in, but without building up that much, still really good. I'm going to go ahead and just pop a Ghost Usher right here. I don't need to show this turn. I just want to showcase the next turn. Hopefully, we can see him take a super, because I think taking a super attack would be pretty interesting. I don't think he would survive, but I don't know, we might just barely survive because we got a lot of HP. I think we're almost at 700k HP. So if we super, or if we get supered after we do our super attack, so we fully build up, then I think we might just barely survive. It really depends though, we'll have to see. Because then, you know, again, we're fully built up. And then of course, I think we're gonna be pushing like 1,000,000 defense, which is really good, right? Because again, we could have that 50% chance to dodge. So yeah, dude, this guy in his peak situations, he's gonna be insane. But you just have to build the team around him, right? You got to make sure you got a lot of Ginyu Force category allies, and then they're going to support him, give him the links activated, but it's not always the easiest thing to do. Okay, so yeah, I guess this works out. We could just throw Rakumen Guldo in slot 1, because we've already solidified they could take a super, and then we're going to take a super with the Ginyu Goku in slot 2. So, I mean, yeah, I think Rakumen Guldo are going to take like, what, 200k right here? Because they didn't get their super off, so they're going to tank a little bit more than they did on the previous turn, right? Yeah, 233. All right, so yeah, that's a bit of damage, but we're still fine. So because we did take a lot of damage, I don't think we're going to survive this super, but if we were full on HP, I don't know. We'll see. We might have been able to survive it, but hopefully we can get like an additional super just to make sure we're fully built up. Because I think he's still a couple of attacks away. I don't think this is going to make him fully built up. Alright. Okay, so they were all normals, and they all crit. So still double digits. How much are we taking from a super? If this is anything under, I guess, 300k, that's pretty good, but I got a feeling this is going to hit pretty hard. Okay, you know what? That's not horrible. Because we didn't stack up that much with the Ginyu. So considering we could have stacked up a lot more, that definitely is pretty impressive. And of course, I've mentioned this 40 times already, but you know, we could dodge. We just technically can't because it's a Broly, so it is cancel dodge. But yeah, we did have the Frieza support memory buffing everyone for an additional 15% attack and defense, so just keep that in mind as well. But overall, pretty impressive. Let's go ahead and cut to the unit breakdown. Alright, so here we have the Captain's Trump card, Captain Ginyu. So starting off with his leader skill, it is Terrifying Conquerors or Planet Namek Saga, category Ki +3, HP attack and defense plus 170%, and then the additional 30% to stats goes to Space Traveling Warriors, so definitely a really good leader skill, right? Most of the Freezes are under this, a lot of Coolers, so just a lot of good extreme units under this leader skill, so definitely very good. But again, most of the time, you're only really running him on a Ginyu Force team, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but still, you know, it's just nice he's got a pretty good leader skill outside of running him next to, you know, Ginyu Force units. And then his super attack effect is he raises defense just infinitely and causes immense damage to enemy. His passive is that he gets attack and defense plus 180%. He gets an additional 50% attack when performing a super. He launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super. And then he gets 10% attack and defense per Ginyu Force category ally on the team up to 50%. He supports Ginyu Force category allies for 30% attack and defense. And then he gets attacks effective against all types when there's a Ginyu Force category ally on the team. So definitely good passive, right? The attack and defense build up. For however many Ginyu Force category units you have on the team, makes it to where obviously you're going to want to run him next to Ginyu Force units. So a good passive, especially if you're running him next to other Ginyu Force units. And then of course the active skill is that he transforms, and the condition is that it can be activated when HP is 70% or less starting from the 4th turn from start of battle once only. His links are Frieza's Army, Gentleman, Respect, the Ginyu Force, Loyalty, Signature Pose, and then Fierce Battle. So a pretty bad link set actually, but if you're running him on a Ginyu Force team, it's pretty good because, as we've already said a couple times, you know, everyone on that team links up really well with this guy. And then his categories are Terrifying Conquerors, Planet Namek Saga, Space Traveling Warriors, Ginyu Force, Dragon Ball Seekers, Special Pose, and then Corroded Body and Mind. And then when you do transform with him, his super attack effect does change, so now he stacks attack and then causes immense damage. And then his passive does change as well. So he recovers 59% HP once only. He gets attack and defense plus 200%. He gets an additional 50% attack when performing a super. He has an additional that is a medium chance of becoming a super attack. And then he gets 10% attack and defense up to 50%, 10% chance to dodge, and then 10% chance to crit up to 50% with every attack performed. And then he gets a high chance to foresee enemy super attack when there's an ally whose name includes Chase on the team. So this is really good. Unfortunately, it's only a high chance to get the Scouter, but still very good he's got a Scouter. Obviously, it makes it to where, you know, you'll know who to put in what slot. So really useful with that. His link set stays the same, and of course his category stays the same. So these are some good linking partners if you want to know. You probably already know most of them because I used them in the video. You know, just a lot of Ginyu Force units. But that has been the Dokkan Fest Ginyu Showcase. Let me know what you guys are thinking of him down in the comments. and I'll catch y'all in the next one.